Table number 9, is that Mamkheti Mulupian? Table number 9.
Well, my question was meant for whoever would be speaking for the Chamber of Mines, but they are not here, so I'll direct it today. I'll direct it to...
In fact, you know what? Is Vusi Mabena here?
Yeah, he's here.
I'll direct it
Vusi,
to
you're
them.
going to have to answer, I'm afraid, my friend. I'm sorry. Otherwise, we'll deny you breakfast. Okay, all right.
I'll direct it to them at table number 4, or the DG could answer. And it has to do with the social investment obligations in the mining charter. And perhaps the DG can come in there, that it has to be realigned. We cannot have mineral resources communities that are still not benefiting from the minerals that they have, that community development is not, it's not happening, and that the mining companies are taking resources from there. What is the Chamber of Mines response that 20 years into democracy, you look at a village like Marikana, you look at Rustenburg community, there hasn't been any community development?
Okay. Again, I think that's partly compliance, isn't it? Because you've put in legislation for them to look at these particular issues. So that's something you're going to look at again at the end of this month, and then they've got until October to give you a story, and then you'll review. Vusi Mabena, it seems that the mining companies are either intransigent or just insensitive. Is it both, or what is the story? Why are they not complying? And this executive pay is just not going to go away, I'm afraid.
First, I'm questioning, how did you get my name?
We have spies.
Because I've come here to attend as audience, not to participate. But perhaps the issue that the lady is asking about SLPs is really a compliance issue. Each company, you know, I sometimes get accused for saying that an SLP is a promissory document that makes you to get your license to operate. You go to the Department of Mineral Resources and submit a social and labor plan after you have consulted with the municipality and the local communities to say these are the local economic development projects, and this is how the mining industry, or our company specifically, is going to participate in those. And mining companies, as the DG has rightfully said, are going to be measured towards the end of this year, or the process is currently taking place, on the extent to which they have complied with what they had promised to do in the period or the tenure of their license.
Well, will they meet their target, do you think?
Those who are members of the chamber, and I've seen some of their, not all of their reports, I think they've gone a long way to meet their targets. The challenge we are sitting with really is much bigger than what a company can do in a myriad of social problems that communities are facing. The challenge with the mining industry is, the unfortunate part of it is that it is an industry that is sitting in the coalface of communities. And the challenge, therefore, is that should there be a problem, the mine and the headgear becomes the first target, that because of this mine, we are suffering like this. Mining companies can do so much. And I'm not saying they must not be stretched and be pushed to do what they are supposed to be doing. They are doing a lot, to the extent to which they can, to the extent to which they have made promises to the DMR that they will do those things.
All right, we're running out of time, but just one quick question. Mr. Mathunjwa says that you can afford, that these mining companies can afford the increases that they're seeking. Is that true? They're saying that you're hiding income in other countries.
Look, this is a negotiation matter that Mr. Mathunjwa is raising. When a union, doesn't matter which one, goes to a company to negotiate salaries, numbers are put on the table, and so he has got his reasons after he has actually inspected whatever he has inspected, which the mines put in front of him, why he thinks, given what they have given to him, is not true. He has just told us just now that money is being hidden. I don't have evidence of that.
Okay.
So the companies have actually given him, so I'm not going to speak on behalf of any specific company here, but I'm saying for a union to say the companies can afford, it's being informed by whatever he has presented, and he does not believe that the company is saying it cannot afford. So I don't want to get into that debate. Right. It's a debate that is a serious debate around the table during negotiations.
All right, fair enough. Okay, there's a lot of questions coming through on Twitter, and I just want to get a response from, in fact, Leanne in the studio has been tracking them. Let's cross to her now and collect some of those questions and some of those themes, and then maybe we can get you all to comment generally on what the viewers are thinking. Leanne, what are people saying?
Sure. What are they not saying, Peter? I think that's a better question. I'm telling you, there's so much response to this TNA business briefing that's currently underway that you're hosting this morning. Let me read one or two of the comments. Perhaps you can pick up a couple of the conversations that the Twitterati are on about here. This is from Lucas Moeng saying the government does not want to get involved itself because AMCU is the majority. Their NUM is the minority. That's what Lucas is having to say. And he's also saying, this is another one from Daniel Matsimela, saying that the government must cease this diplomatic dilly-dally. The government must protect citizens first, urgently. They must look after the miners. That's what they're saying. What else are they saying? Here we go. Another person saying, the MPRA must dictate minimum mineral wage to 12,500 rand. Mine owners to comply, or else they must ship out. That's another comment that's come through here. Mojalefa saying that's the reason why the EFF did a walkout of the last TNA. You are not dealing with inequality anymore, but Mathunjwa, exclamation mark. That's another one over there. Daniel again saying that the core issue is miners' salary. Why is AMCU and NUM attacking each other? Focus, guys. It's not about you. All right, that's just some of the comments that are coming through. Farzana Baba saying, what do your union fees buy you when you are striking and not being paid? Good question. Not much, I don't think. Trevor Tivase saying NUM is the biggest exploiter of all times in the history of the mining industry. Bit of a scathing attack. Perhaps NUM can defend themselves over there. Hope and Nyanya saying the violence must come to an end and Mr. Mathunjwa must claim some level of responsibility. All right, Mr. Mathunjwa, that one aimed at you. And people just really saying, oh, here's another one from Mojalefa saying, Bridget Khadebe gave you all a solution. Why don't you bring that forward? You know, that possibly could work. And then I can see Yusuf Abramji, he's going out there and saying, let's get all the stakeholders around a table and publicly sign a peace pledge, because this is just not working. Perhaps this is the way to go. I know I'm eating into your time there, Peter, but I'm just giving you an idea of how many people are getting involved in this debate and this conversation. Barney finally saying, no, I don't think Barney's talking about mining. He's talking more about what's happening when it comes to telecommunications. But let's just go back to you there, and perhaps you can pick up some of these issues.
All right, gentlemen, so there's a number of issues, and the way we'll do it, I'll literally just start with you, Mr. Mathunjwa. You've heard what people have said, the thoughts that they've shared. You comment on what you've heard and respond to the things that have been pointed to you. And we'll just get comments from all four of you on general feelings of the public. Mr. Mathunjwa?
I think the way forward, or one should think of, the government must be serious about the economy of this country. We haven't benefited. If it needs to take a nationalization, that has to take in order the citizens of the country come first before the investors. So we've been farming without knowing there is gold and platinum for that matter. We're living peacefully. Until such time they come and extract this that cause chaos at the end of the day, we are not benefiting. We are only members. Our members are getting diseases, silicosis, you can name it. They leave the employment without limbs and not being paid. So therefore, the government must be the real custodian, mustn't please the investors in the expense of the nation.
Are you going to take any responsibility for some of this violence?
That was the reason they were saying that's why EFF walk out, because you are just personalizing issues. What responsibility should I take?
As a union, not you personally.
No, I mean what responsibility should I take? For what?
This is what's coming.
No, I'm asking you.
Yes.
For what?
Saying for some of the violence that's
what
taking
violence?
place.
I mean, should I take responsibility of something that's happening in the community? Where is Sanko? Well, I mean, I will take responsibility on the violence happening at the picketing area.
Okay.
SAPS has to do their job where they're supposed to do. So that's why they were telling you that the EFF walk because of this personalizing issues.
It's not
Be careful if the next minute I will walk out.
Okay.
Be careful.
Mr. Baleni?
It will be at the end anyway. In terms of job grading, I think
support
job
the
grading
employer.
It's important that the
co-opted
Chamber of
by the
Mines
employer.
do away with the partisan grading system. The current partisan grading system does not take into account the nature of the work workers are doing, the environment, the difficulties, and all the positive things which Mr. Mathunjwa has referred to. The second issue, Peter, is about the MPDRA compliance. We are not pleased with the company. It's the second 5 years, and we are going to get a lot of stories. And we think that government must be serious. License must be threatened. We cannot keep on getting promises. You look at employment equity, they have not met their targets. One of the gold companies has actually recruited more white males than black people. Procurement, issues of social labor plan, skills, or women employment. So those pillars of the charter are critical. Unless the licenses are threatened, we will come back and say the same issue.
You've also been accused of being the biggest exploiter of all time and the favored child, apparently, in terms of the unions.
Well, sometimes we don't have to respond to everything. People know our history,
Well, I'm asking you to respond.
what we fought for, what we stand for. We are not going to be extreme left and do the opposite in terms of benefiting ourselves. We are a principal union. We have delivered. We are not promising. We have delivered.
Okay.
Well, as the token white male, I will respond here. The first instance, the one caller was 100% correct. You know, we show poor leadership. We need to rise above our differences. The reputation of unions, mining companies, government, the industry is tarnished, and we should take the lead. Secondly, we should all commit ourselves to the sustainability of the mining industry, and by doing that, there must be that social contract where we commit ourselves to labor peace and productivity, and in return, the mining houses must commit themselves to remuneration, get rid of a lot of corporate luxuries. You can't sit. The average office of a manager in the mining industry is much better than the average accommodation of a mine worker, and that's wrong. And then legislation needs to be changed in line with what we've seen over the past 2 years. And then the one question, what do unions do with their fees? You know, we build colleges, we've built the technical colleges, we built a long-distance learning college, and we give out 8 million rand of bursaries. I know the NUM spent 275 million on these kind of matters over the 30 years. So the end result is that we as the unions need to also start to show stronger leadership.
Okay. DMR, quite a few things have been put in your lap. Picking sides, your favored child, NUM. You must stop dilly-dallying and protect the people. Minimum wage, is that something that you can legislate? Your thoughts?
Okay, firstly, I would like to point out that government does not take sides at all. Mr. Mathunjwa says he knows the minister has invited him on several times to participate in our meetings. And even now, the deputy president has invited AMCU to participate in his process. So we don't take sides. And in those meetings, the officials sit with all stakeholders and discuss issues. I was in some of the meetings where they participated in terms of the framework agreement of the deputy president. We didn't take sides there. The only difference was that when it was supposed to be signed, they did not sign. So I don't know how would one say that government is taking sides there. Not at all. The issues of the salaries are not governed by the MPRDA. Those issues are governed by the Labor Relations Act. And I think I've got my colleagues from Department of Labor. Maybe they can say a few words about that.
We'll get to them for sure. So, Dilly Dally, you don't want to get involved. This is a sense that you were getting.
I've just stated that we continuously engage. We are involved. We have never stopped as government. We are involved continuously. We invite people. If people choose not to come, we cannot force them. You cannot force a horse to go and drink water.
All right. I have to say, I did hijack Mr. Mabena.